Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey, and today I'm bringing you the speed build video of the new storage room area for the iron, for the rock, for the sand, for the glass, for all those materials that kind of belong together in one specific storage area, right? So this is we build this on live stream. So as you can see, this is live stream. I'm going over my own voice. Don't pay attention to that other Jersey. Listen to this one, the one that you hear right now in this voice over this video. That other one, if you want to see that other Jersey, go to the live stream and you can see everything that we talked about. But we built this on live stream with all of you in mind. But now we're making it a little spill video, right? We're gonna edit some things out, go through like the main points, what I was thinking in a more easy format, right? Just for you guys. All right. So my idea. So what I wanted to do is another functional room, right? And it's kind of what I want to do with all my storage area is more like a place where people go to actually work or build or do constructions or something like that, right? The sunflower the sunroom that we built is already ready to, flower arrangement. We got a work table, everything looks really good in that room, right? So now this one, I really wanted to make it feel like a blacksmith. When you go to those places and they got the furnaces and they got, because they got to put wood, they got to put the coal. And I wanted that feel, but it's really hard to find that feel in this particular game at the moment for the items that I have unlocked. Now, there's other wallpapers that I do believe will fit better the atmosphere, but I don't have those yet, right? And I won't know exactly until I try them on. So eventually this room can have a 2.0 version, or we'll build another one. But for the moment, for what I have and the items that I have, this is what we're gonna do. So first thing, as you see, we're putting the cement wall, right? To me, the cement was the best one out of all the wallpapers that I have. That was the best one. It was just gonna give you at least that feel, right? Now, one of the other things that in this room, there's gonna be no greenery, right? No greenery, no plants, no pots, nothing that's greenery. This is more of a heavy metal, rock, furnace, fire, iron, gold, everything that you can think of that's related to that. That's what we're gonna use here. So that's a little tricky, right? We're not gonna be focusing on using fillers when it comes to plants. And that's also a little bit tricky in his own right? And the more items you have, you may be able to do even better as you follow this along. If you like this idea, maybe you do a little play on it. Okay, so the other thing that I really wanted to use was this little broken walls, right? And I did like the idea. I like the way it was coming out, but we ended up changing that, and because it was taking too much of the room to make the illusion that I want, because part of this illusion, right, we needed to leave a little bit of gap behind those walls, right, because we're going to put shelves, and you're going to see that in just a moment because I'm going to be explaining that, but I'm going to explain it different here compared with the live stream. All right, so the other thing that is very important, that is key on this build, that I really wanted to go super different than anything that I've seen before, is using these lockers. These lockers that you see right here, that's gonna be my storage area. We're not gonna make chests, we're not gonna make none of that. I really wanted to use all this metal, right? And I really like what we started, right? And the great thing about this kind of stuff, it just keeps evolving and changing and being different. Now, as you see, we got that mining cart there. That mining cart is gonna be key also to make it feel this place that we're bringing the stuff from the mining area and things are just in the floor and all of that. Now, I'm using this furnace section. As you can see, we got 3 of them right here. That's where the people are gonna work on, right? Use the fire to heat up the coal, to heat up the gold, so they can craft the materials that they want. Now, the flooring is gonna change. The flooring was tricky to find the right flooring. Chad helped me a lot, to make those decisions. So people like this one, and then in the second live stream, when we work on this room, we did a touch of magic, and that was really great. But as you can see, I'm placing the lockers room in different ways, and I was already running out of space, but that was okay. I still wanted to make it work and still wanted to make this illusion happen. Now, as you can see, we still always, when you make this illusion right here, if you want to go along with this, the most important part in this section is that you gotta use shelves if you want to show what's inside the lockers, right? And the shelves are just the right height that are gonna fall right on top of the lockers, and it's so good, right? So here you're gonna see a little bit of the portion. We went back and forth with different flooring at first. Some people really like the hardwood, some some people like the normal cement, and I can see the pros and cons between it, right? This one matches everything better, but also blends everything. The other one gives you a little bit of contrast, but some people didn't like the wood texture to it, so we went back and forth. But later on, we're gonna do a little touch of magic. And thank you so much for chat for really letting me know about the touch of magic rock, and then that really helped the illusion come to life. And I can't wait till we get there, because it really does help the situation of the flooring, because I'm only working with what I have at the moment. Okay, so here we are putting the shelves, right? And these are the shelves that are so important. Now, it came to a situation that, as you can see, it's important to have those gaps in between the walls so we can put the shelving and all of that so they can fit in the proper place. But like I mentioned earlier, this scenario would change. Now the shelving in the locker will stay, but the wall, that gap is just, we ran out of space. We ran out of space, and we wanted to work comfortably, right? I like clutter, but I want to be able to walk through the clutter, right? Or how heavy it is decorated in the floor around the areas, and it was very important to gain all that back. So now this is another idea that I had. I really wanted kind of like a bench, or benches that look like tables that people work on, and I really like these stone benches at first, but once again they took a lot more space that I really wanted. And that's something that, as you're building, as you're decorating, as you're placing layouts, right, things will change as you're going forward. In your mind, things should work in one way, and then as you progress, things start changing, and then it's not the same, because you realize that you need more space. You want to be able to walk around the areas. Maybe you start wanting to use all the items that you don't think of. And one thing about building this kind of stuff on live stream is that you guys help me so much to think of items that I would never would have thought of at that moment, you know. And it's great, and then the idea just keeps evolving, just keeps changing, and makes it to another level, you know. Okay, so now a lot of you suggested to use these lamps that also match the atmosphere that we have here, and these lamps were tricky. I went back and forth with this. I didn't like them in the corner. It just didn't look right, didn't feel right. So I ended up taking them off at some point, and then we do bring more of the column feel in those corners, in those four corners, but we do it with the same thing of the furnace. The only difference is that we do hide the fire, so we don't see those fire, right? But it matches, and it makes everything feel equal, makes it feel the same. Now, this is something that I really wanted to try on, because I wanted to see if I drop the bricks and drop rocks and drop all this stuff, would they block me? Would they let me walk? Because part of the clutter that I wanted to do here is I have like broken parts, broken glass, broken pieces, maybe do a couple of just iron nuggets just falling in the floor, and that way it looks like it's a little messy, right? It's a work area. It's a little messy, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to feel. And the great thing and the good news is that when you drop these type of items, they don't block you. You can walk right on top of them. You can put a bunch of them, and they don't block you. So you can continue to walk freely, and it looks great because you can have clutter, and at the same time, you know, you can walk. And that was a great test, and that was something great to know. And as you can see, I'm just moving things around, talking to chat to see what they think, if this is type of clutter, because we really wanted to do another type of clutter, and it was using the stones and things that were breaking, but that didn't work. It just didn't work out. It did not pan out, and that was a little bit disappointing, because all those items were only gonna be for outdoor, and that was a little sad. It was a little sad. So, but it's okay. It's okay. We figured out a way how to make more of this clutter feel more real and make more sense, and it actually worked out very well. So now lighting was another thing that was really important, and we kept playing with this lamp. We can play with other things, and then we ended up having another light, and that's gonna come a little more down in the future. That's gonna look really well as well. Okay, so now I really wanted this piles of wood, right? Because the reason I wanted the piles of wood is, you imagine you're working on the furnace, you're working on the fire, you're working on something, and the fire is dying down. So you want to be able to throw wood and fire, right? And that's something that I really wanted, and just wanted that feel, you know? Now, again, a lot of this, we end up moving, we end up just moving things around, putting this over here, putting this over there, because things started to change, right? The build started to evolve, especially once we took part of these walls out. Now, there was a point that I thought that I was recording off stream when I was doing some changing. It wasn't recording. I do apologize for that. So we're gonna do a little jump at some point, and you're gonna see, whoa, there was a lot of changes. And I'll try to explain, but mainly the big change was that we took down the walls, we pushed the lockers back, we added a couple more lockers, so that really helped on the storage situation, and actually started to looking a lot better. Now, as you can see, I really wanted to have like a little work table where people are actually working on top of these tables, and those are the tables that they're crafting their vases and stuff like that. And then we were trying to pick what kind of size table we needed. Do we want this type of big one? Do we want this type of small one? Do we want a 2-story, a lot lower? And what kind of tables did I have that actually works for this? And eventually we did find one that was really good. So, but a lot of these right now are kind of placeholders just to see the idea. As you can see behind there in the very front one, we got a table and we got a vase sitting on top of it. And that illusion really looks really good because it feels like it's working. Now, as you can tell, I was already running out of room. And I was like, okay, the workbench, we need to try to do something. What can we do here? We need a little more space. And some people were suggesting, so as you can see here, we're trying different ideas that people from the chat on the live stream were actually voicing out. Some of the ideas are so good, but I just didn't have the space to actually make it work. And that was the biggest problem in the first initial part of this build. It was space, and you may encounter that in your builds. And if you really have a vision, if you really have something in mind that you really want to create, right? As you're following this, as you're watching this, and hopefully getting inspiration and maybe having new ideas, or you really like this idea a lot, maybe you start realizing, okay, I want to approach it this way, and then maybe add this, maybe take this away, or maybe you do very similar. But don't give up on your ideas. Don't give up on what you want to try to do. What was your vision? What was the main reason you wanted to create this room? I do believe that the more you play along, the more you move it, and it's okay. You may have spent 20 minutes doing something just to undo it, and that's okay, right? As long as you're motivated, as long as you're positive, as long as you stay happy, you're gonna do something amazing, something creative, and something super wonderful. Now, something that I was trying on, we don't have proper tools for blacksmith or something like that, but I wanted something behind the fire, just hanging back there on the wall. So we added like these pots and pans, and I really like that. It may not make sense for the type of tools, but it just gives you something instead of just an empty wall. I really like that, and we're gonna leave it on that. So now we're finally removing the lights. It's not working for me. And then I remember the lights that we did on the sunroom, and I really like that. It had that modern feel, and they also look like lights that you find in the mines or in a working area. And I really liked it, so I really wanted to bring him in here. I really wanted to get the feel to see if this type of light source was really going to work for me. And also, it's filling up the wall. It's not keeping the wall so empty, so bare. It's giving it shape, and I liked it. I liked it 100%. I really like this idea, and we kept it. Now, as you can see, this is when I'm slowly realizing we're running out of room. This is not going to work. The walls are not working. I need shelves behind the wall. I can't bring everything forward, and I also need storage area. The idea, if you're looking for something smaller than what I end up doing, and maybe you like this, you can keep it, right? Maybe you want to keep it a little more focused on just storage, right? I still wanted to make the illusion of a work area, so we picked at it, right? We kept going, we kept adding, we kept doing things that we needed, and it came out. At the end, it came out, right? But I really like the illusion. As I'm looking at it right now, I'm like, man, I really like those walls. It's too bad that I could not make it work. If the room were just a little bigger, we always want more, right? The DV developers, let's make the rooms even bigger so we can do even better things, But no. At the end, there are a couple choices to do. You can go one route, you can go the other one. I really wanted to do part of my vision still, so as you can see, I'm tweaking, I'm moving things around. I'm trying to see if somehow how can I gain more space that I need, like in which way can I do this here, can I do that there. And what I found out that this was the best way. It was to actually remove all the walls and kind of start fresh and keep going with the idea that I really wanted to do. But as you can see, a lot of it's trial and error. I'm moving lockers, I'm moving the tables, I'm moving the all the time. I keep moving the mine carts, I keep moving all these benches, and I really like the stone bench. Like I really did. But like I mentioned, it really took too much space. Like the workbench, it was they're too big for what I wanted. Now here we got the time jump. Now you see this little time jump here. I thought I was recording. It wasn't recording. So, and when I went to stream, I started explaining to everybody, like, I do apologize. It's a little bit ahead because I was gonna try to finish this off stream, but I didn't get the time to finish our stream. So came back on another stream and we were gonna finish the room now, right? So now this is one of the most important part right here. Is the touch of magic rug. And I didn't know about this kind of stuff until chat. So thank you so much, everybody that was on chat, on the live stream, participating and letting me know about the touch of magic rug. And this really brought the first part, what we needed, this floor to come alive, to really look really good. And I'm so happy that we did it. So happy that we did it. Now, a couple of the changes that you see when we came in here, we took out a lot of the walls, we pushed everything back, we added more lockers, right? And we kind of played couple of fields, moving couple mine carts around once again, and that's part of the time job. But the most important is right here, is working on this touch of magic rock. And once we did it, I was like, yes, this is actually gonna work. This is gonna give you a little separation for what you see from the floor. And it's gonna, now it's sad that we can't put stuff or some specific items on top of the rock, so I can push it all the way across. I would love this to be all across the room, but you can put the lockers on top, you can put the furnace on top. Well, you can put the lockers on top, or you can put the furnace. There's a couple items that during the live stream we discovered that would not work on top of the magic rug. So that was a little sad, but it's okay. But as you can see, we added more lockers. Now we're moving things around, and this is when it's gonna get fun. Okay, so a lot of the items that you're gonna see, we're gonna change benches, we're gonna change chairs, we're gonna add the lockers, we gotta add more shelving. There's gonna be a lot of moving things around. We do add more columns, we take columns out. As you can see, we're working with the little furnace again. As you can see, I added 4 furnace on all 4 corners just to keep shaping this room. I felt like maybe we add a couple more mine carts because I really wanted to make this feel, once again, like a workplace, right? Like we're bringing all these materials in. And we're gonna make 2 more. We're gonna put it in the entrance, and then you're gonna notice that I'm gonna go back in and out a couple times from the room, in and out, just to feel the shape as you're coming in. Because it's important when you come into a room, you land at a specific spot, and that spot really tells the story of the room, right? And if you don't test that out, in my opinion, you don't know the right feel of the room. And I do believe that's so important to do. You need to always go back out, come back in, and check that out. So as you can see, I did try again those little light columns, did not like them, it wasn't working. So we went ahead and bought a couple more of these lights. We added it in the rest of the room, and it really, this light really helped the wall situation, right? It helped it feel better, it helped it feel more finished, more complete, and I really like that. We had a nice separation in between them. Everything felt perfectly when it came to this light, so I was really happy. And as you can see, now we're adding a couple more shelves. We gotta get more bamboo, so we didn't get to finish putting all the shelves. But then I was testing things out, showing people how it could look, So we put in a couple things, rock over there, putting the rest inside, just to see the illusion, how it was gonna look and how it was gonna work. Now, the other big thing that we did, that you see right here, we added the timetable. The new table. So now we got 2, right? And I really like this feel. It really felt really great having both crafting stations facing one another. And we tried to see which one looked better in the front, which one looked better in the back. And we ended up putting the new one in the front with that little blue light. It just looked really good. I love the toolbox on the side, and it just worked out really great. And that's what we did. And then the other one, we left it just a little taller, but it has a touch of gray to work on all the items. And now we can do everything in this room that we need to. And having both tables here is really functional, it's really practical, and I really love it. Now we did, as you can see, we added these little stools on the side over here. We added a couple more. Now we're trying the clutter, right? We slowly gotta get the clutter right. So we're trying different trash can, we're trying different materials that make sense, that will work for this area a lot. And these type of areas and these type of sections, they're a little bit different, right? You may be thinking a lot behind the scenes. You are thinking what to do, what to grab, what could work well and well with the build. And this part can really sometimes drag on, and if you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't find the right items, take a break. Truly, take a break, come back to it, keep checking, don't give up, try to find something else, and work on it, and if you can find something, then that's okay, maybe you tweak your build, maybe you try something. But as we keep searching, you can see I'm trying this item here, trying this one over here, what looks better, what doesn't look better. I really like some of the tables that we're picking, some of the material. People in chat were telling me, oh, do you have this item? And sometimes I don't have all the items, right? We finally making like into the 3 months. We've been playing DD for 3 months now, so we are growing. Our collection is growing, but I don't have everything. I don't have everything from the store. I don't have all the recipes unlocked. I keep finding like, oh my gosh, if I do this, I unlock more recipes. So it's always fun how chat reacts that I don't have all the recipe because I'm a newbie. I'm a brand new player, right? We don't have everything just yet. But as you can see, it's taking shape, right? And the great thing is, as you can see, we got the space. We can walk around the area. Everything is feel a little more spacious, and now we can truly start adding things, And one of the trials and error that we did, we as you can see, we're crafting nuggets, we're crafting the iron bars. I didn't really like how those look in the floor. They didn't look right to me. It just too separated, too perfect. I wanted things to look a little more broken down. So, but as you can see, I'm just placing a lot of stuff on the floor, and then we're gonna drag and try and all that. Now, there are some cool parts like the broken parts, some of these broken tablets. Those work really well. Some of the brick look really nice as well. But the one thing that I didn't like truly for me and for what I envision is this golden bars, or any other bars. It just didn't look right. It just, for some reason, to me, didn't look right. If you like it, you like the idea, you type like that clutter, go ahead and add it and put it into your build if you're following along. But for me, it just did not work out, right? It just did not work out just right. So we ended up picking those, but I did like a lot of the other stuff that everybody suggested, using some of the time bending parts, all that stuff, because all that's gonna be here. You're crafting, you're fixing, you're building, you're making bases, you're making machinery, you're making all of that stuff in this room, and I think all this stuff makes sense, right? If you go to work areas like this, you go to a garage, you go to a mechanic, you find things in the floor, right? Just scatter, not too much clutter because you want to be safe, but you find broken pieces, things pushed to the side, and I really wanted that feel, and this helped really a lot to make this illusion happen, at least to me, because I was disappointed that we can use some of the stuff that's only outdoor. So being able to do this type of clutter, adding these pieces here, adding just that particular clutter in different corners, and then it's just trial and error. Trust me, not everybody's gonna like the clutter that you do in a specific way. Not everybody was happy with things where I placed some of mine. Some people liked it, some people don't, and that's okay, right? When it comes to designing, when it comes to decorating, not everybody's gonna have the same taste. In the majority of the time, we all like a lot of the same stuff, but there's some color combination. There are some way we stack things, or maybe the color doesn't just look just right for a particular person, and that's okay. And don't be that disappointed if that happens, because even me in the live streams, you see when people don't like something, but other people do, and do what you want, right? The most important when it comes to designing, decorating, building, or anything in this type of game is that you, the person that's doing it, working on your room, working on your island, working on your valleys, you are the one that has to be happy. Let the who's you and that your creative and your taste reflect on your builds, right? The most important is to never to compare to others. Do the build that you want, be exactly who you want to be, because that is what's gonna take your build, and that's what's gonna make you happy, and that's what's gonna keep you building every single day, every time to decorate every room, every area. If you're having fun, if you are enjoying it, then you are gonna have the best time ever. Truly the best time ever, and you're gonna have the most fun. But as you can see, we're dropping more items, we're clothing everywhere, and people are suggesting, and this is the great part about doing some stuff like this on live stream, and when you get to this point, because it's good to hear different opinions, hear different voices, what people are saying, what they like, what don't they like. Maybe there's something that I'm missing, something that I didn't think of, and this really helped a lot when it came to this build, right? And a lot of people suggested a lot of things. Some people didn't like a couple other stuff, especially when we got to the final areas when it came to the columns, the lights. We're gonna work in the back one more time because it still didn't look right. That back wall, there was something still missing. Something didn't felt right that I needed to fix. But we ended up doing it. We ended up fixing it. We ended up adding a couple more columns that really look great. You know, it gave you that little extra separation that it really worked. And I really enjoyed it, you know, and it worked great. And I want to say thank you to the members of the chat that really were involved and giving their opinions so much when it came to the back wall. But we're gonna see those changes very, very soon. Okay, so as you can see, we're just working on the clutter, you know, and you know, we keep dropping. And like I said, trial and error. Try it out, see if you like it. If you don't like it, I'm a person that when it comes to clutter, I'm very picky about it. You know, sometimes a lot looks good. Sometimes a lot of it doesn't look good. Sometimes I gotta be careful that nothing, everything looks too straight. So as you can see, right now I got a lot, and eventually we do take part of this clutter up because it looked too much, it looked too heavy, and sometimes it have this illusion that it was just too straight. And so what I try to do is between the items and aligning the item in different angles, try to make it feel like it was curving, you know, and making curves and all of that. And that helped to take away those straight lines, those hard edges when it came to the clutter. Now that's something personally that I do like to do, and it's work with curving when you're designing and all of that. That truly helps to take away every single straight line, because you know when we play all these games, they're in a grid system, so everything is blocky, and there's in DDV we don't have angle, so you really gotta make the illusion happen between the combination of the items and how you're curving it and how you're placing it. And as you can see, we're already taking out some places look too red, they were too heavy with the brick, so we took a lot of this brick out and we just left some. The brick were really grabbing your attention, right? It was a really heavy red, and it was so distracting to me. And I was like, man, they're just distracting all around. So let's take that out and just add other softer clutter in the area, and that's what we're gonna try to do. So we're gonna try a couple of these more minerals and keep shaping up and moving things around, make sure that we got curve, make sure that we got lines, so everything looks just the way it needs to look. And then slowly, as we adjust the clutter, things are looking really well, start looking really good. So now another thing that I needed to do, and I decided, is to actually take away the wood pile from next to the furnaces and just put it in the front. Like we got a wood pile stock area, right? And it's just kind of in the entrance, kind of framing that area, and that helped me right here to alleviate a little bit of the clutter and make it a little more round, like everything is shaping up. And that's what I was talking about, how we curving it. So if you see right here, you see how that's curving and then go up instead of being just a 90-degree angle and stuff like that. We're doing the same thing over here. Just kind of, you see how that is curving right there? That looks so much better. At least to me, in my eyesight, it just helped me so much. Now I decided that I didn't want to trash cans anymore. Let's just keep one, work on the wood pile, and you see how this framing. So now eventually we're gonna frame the door even better, and when we come in, it's gonna look so good, right? But now everything looks better. You see the clutter, but you see the hallway. The hallway is clear. It still gives you a good path to walk on. It doesn't feel too messy, and the mess is only what's against the lockers and the other area. So that's really good, and that's something that I really enjoy, right? Clutter is good, but you gotta get it just right, in my opinion. Now over here, this is what I wanted to add. I wanted to match kind of like the columns that we had and kind of work on it on the front. But you see how the front one, I like the one that we put on the back. I didn't like the one to the front. So somebody suggested in chat that I should separate the lockers and put it in between. And once we did that, once I understood, because at first I couldn't understand what they were trying to tell me, but once we did that, we used that column that we have in the back, right? We push the locker into the right, like you're gonna see right here, and then we put that in the other side. I really like that. That felt really good. Now we duplicated it on the other side, and I'm telling you what, that did the trick. I really like this separation. It just felt right. It felt good, and it just really made the room come together. And that back wall started feeling finished, and I really like that. So as you can see, we gotta change a couple things over here. I want to make sure that I have room for the shelves. As you can see, I was gonna try to see if I needed to rework the clutter. We didn't need to do that. Everything looked great. Everything was working perfectly. We gotta add the shelf, pull that stuff over there. But that look, and we kind of went back and forth. We wanted to decide size we really wanted. Most of the shop really like what we had here, and now we're gonna duplicate it on the other side, make everything. And you see how now it's framing. Now that back wall is starting to feel finished, and I really like it. Now we had 2 clocks just for aesthetic, but at the end we're gonna end up just keeping one because 2 look too busy now. It looked now too much on the wall, so now it's having the opposite effect, and we're just gonna keep one. So the idea was to keep one in the back for one of the tables when you're facing that wall, and then when you're working on the other table, we're gonna have another clock facing the other way. And that worked out really well, and it just having 2 clocks in different walls, that really worked out really good, and I really like that aesthetic a lot. And as you can see, we're starting to move it, we're starting to play which side we want to keep it, what sides make sense, you know, and that's going to be more preference, you know. But over here, we put it on the back, we kept it in the front, and it's just working together, you know. But these final touches, all of these pieces put it together, it started to make this room feel finished, feeling good, you know. And by the time we ended the stream, there's still a couple shelves, you know, we haven't moved everything in, but the layout is done. The layout's gonna be done by the time we finish this little video right here. We come in and look how it feels. I love the columns. As soon as you come in, you feel those columns, you see the wood, all that feels really great. And now we have a finished room, and here it is. Here's the picture of the finished product, and I hope that you liked it. It's a different take, it's my take, it's my way, and to me the biggest key here are the lockers. I really wanted to use the lockers to make this illusion happen, and I hope that you guys enjoy this new way to make a new storage area using something unique like the lockers for the room. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.